Thank you for watching this little update. I hope that this finds everybody well and calm in these very difficult circumstances. Of course, things continue to change almost several times a day, and it's necessary to try to keep the community as well informed as we can about the response that Barker is making. Thank you to all families and to our students from Year 3 to Year 11 and our staff for their hard work in yesterday's trial online learning day. And we certainly did learn a lot from that experience. I've spoken to probably 300 students during the course of this morning, asking them generally on a scale of 0 to 10 how they rated their experience yesterday. Many of them gave it a very high score. When I spoke to some staff, they thought, there are some things that we could do a bit better. And certainly I've received some very constructive feedback from parents, and we've been sharing that widely across the staff. So we're learning a lot as we go. Changing from one modality of instruction to another requires quite a different pedagogy from staff. Trying to do both at the same time, teach face-to-face and teach online, is a considerable skill, and it does take a little bit of time to make these transitions. I want to share with you one or two things that a few people said to us. I think you'll find them just as amusing as I did. When one student logged on a bit late and their teacher criticised them for being a bit late to the online class, the student replied, "Sorry, sir, I didn't hear the bell," which the teacher replied in text, "Ha ha ha, very good." There's another one who said, "Sir, can I slip away to my music lesson now?" There's another one that said, in Year 7 this time, "Hello to the greatest teacher." The teacher, of course, shared that with me, and I was very pleased to hear that. Another one said, "Sorry I'm late, teacher. I went to the wrong classroom." And the last one, "The best thing about the future is that it comes only one day at a time." I love that wisdom from one of our young people. So overall, the day went very smoothly. Much was learned by all of us, and I could not be more grateful to the support and cooperation of our community. We will be giving all our students and our staff and our families an opportunity to respond to a survey. The link will be provided, and I encourage you to take 5 minutes to let us know how you felt yesterday's online learning trial day went. The truth is that the matters before us are not ones for reaction. This is going to take a little while to unfold. It's pretty clear from all of the evidence flowing in from overseas and from other parts of Australia, let alone Sydney, that this looks to be a fairly protracted situation. It's not going to end in the next 2 weeks. We need to prepare ourselves for what could be a somewhat lingering difficulty. The way in which we deliver education will need to reform over these next few months. We want to take the opportunity to make the best of this difficult circumstance, create better and stronger skills for a range of different modalities and not just one. Many of us are concerned for our Year 12s. Clearly, we want to reduce the number of disruptions to our Year 12s, keep them down to a minimum if we can. As a consequence, it's our intention right through till the end of this term to maintain as much face-to-face teaching for our Year 12s as possible. Furthermore, the assessment fortnight, which is in the last 2 weeks of term, is scheduled to continue. We are continuing to respond to the latest government advice. We're in touch almost daily with members of Parliament and the Chief Health Officer here in New South Wales to find out the latest updates on the advice that they give us. Their indication is that we should be continuing to reduce the size of our gatherings. As a consequence, we are cancelling assemblies and chapels from now on. There will be no large gatherings at the school. Our sports program has dramatically changed. The way in which we do our co-curricular rehearsals, though they'll continue to some extent, will be dramatically different. We will be reducing the capacity of students to have close social contact as a means of responding to government advice to make sure that our students are safe and well. Our health centre staff are continually being updated, and they are practising more and more precautions in how they're managing each individual question. Many of our families are going straight to the health clinic to find out advice and to seek ways in which they can structure their own personal circumstances in a responsible fashion that can support the whole community. I'm very grateful to them for doing that. I'm also very grateful to our healthcare people generally for the hard work that they're committing to our school. I do want to also acknowledge the enormous dedication and professionalism of our staff generally through this time. Our pastoral care staff, our support staff, our frontline teaching staff and our leadership team have all been very dedicated towards doing what is best for every child at Barker, recognising our obligations within the wider community here in New South Wales and in Australia. I want to let you know today that we have made the decision to close Term 1 early. Our final teaching day will be on Friday the 3rd of April. The Monday and Tuesday that follows will be non-teaching days, but they'll be professional learning days so our teachers can get fully prepared for what looks to be a disrupted Term 2. As I mentioned before, this period between now and that date allows us invaluable preparation time. It's why it's so good if our students come to school on those days to find out what guidance the teachers might give them should there be a longer and more protracted shutdown. We don't quite know yet what Term 2 will look like. We're pretty sure that it's not going to look like it should look. Our winter sports program will be significantly disrupted. Our co-curricular program will be reduced dramatically. Camps and the like are disappearing as we know it. It's not going to be business as usual. And yet, we want to focus our attentions on great learning, so far as the online capacity will permit, and strong wellbeing practices. We want to keep the community as engaged as we can, and we need a little bit of time to gradualise the progression from face-to-face into online. Yesterday was a fantastic little experiment in that, and there's high levels of satisfaction. We think we can even do better over the coming days, but I will certainly keep you informed as things progress. Could I conclude by expressing once again my thanks, my respect for those families who feel for a range of reasons that they need to keep their children at home at the moment, my deep appreciation to the professionalism and the quality of our staff, and my gentle confidence that we will get things right for the long game that lies ahead of us. I believe with some level of confidence that together we'll be even stronger as a consequence of these experiences.